Sony is trying to ruin Spider-Man 4. So according to Daniel RPK, Tom Holland, Kevin Feige, and Sony are apparently still figuring out if Spider-Man 4 is going to be a street-level movie or a multiverse movie. Now, we've all heard the recent news of, Tom Holland and Kevin Feige wanting to have this as a street-level Spidey movie, maybe a team-up with Daredevil against Kingpin, maybe introduce Black Cat, something like that, just because the ending of No Way Home was so perfectly set up for a street-level Spider-Man, and if they don't take that opportunity to actually have a grounded Spidey movie after all that perfect setup, I think it's a huge missed opportunity. We literally just had the big Spider-Verse movie with Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, so for them to set up Peter Parker in a perfect spot for a street-level movie and then just bring everyone back again, it's like, why? We know we're going to get these other Spider-Mans in future movies like Secret Wars, and we can easily just have a Spider-Verse movie after Spider-Man 4, but we all know Sony, they want to cash in again, bring all the Spideys back, and make another $2 billion, because No Way Home made $1.9 billion in the peak of a pandemic. But it just doesn't make sense for the story. Like, yeah, No Way Home was amazing, and I would love to see all the Spideys on the big screen again, but in service of the MCU Spider-Man, the movie does not need to be multiversal at all. And then on top of that, apparently Spider-Man 4 is still being written, and it looks like it will release before Avengers 5, so it can be used as a direct setup for the new Avengers movies. And that right there tells me that Marvel Studios has lost the battle with Sony in picking what Spider-Man 4 is going to be about. I guarantee you that is not going to be a grounded street-level movie, even though Kevin Feige and Tom Holland wants it to be. Because ultimately, Sony gets the final say. Spider-Man technically still is their character, so they can choose whatever they want for this movie, and then Marvel just has to make it. But if this report is correct from Daniel RPK saying that Spider-Man 4 is basically going to set up the Avengers movies, then, those Avengers movies are very multiversal, so I think they're going to go the route that Sony wants with the whole Spider-Verse and multiverse stuff. Which is a damn shame, because honestly, none of the Tom Holland movies have really felt street level. He hasn't been in Manhattan, in school, struggling for money, building his own suit from scratch, which he literally did at the end of No Way Home. But if they go big Spider-Verse movie, all that setup is for nothing. And then on top of that, it looks like Sony is basically pressuring Marvel Studios to make this movie and release it sometime in 2025, probably right at the end of the year, because we're already in 2024, and for them to film the whole thing and edit it and CGI and all that, and then release it and make it look good, it's just unreasonable to think that it's going to come out like early 2025 or whatever. So if it does come out in 2025, probably December, but it looks like they're being kind of aggressive with it and telling Marvel like, no, get this thing out, we want to make our money. So these guys over at Sony want to dictate the story and pressure Marvel into pushing this movie out faster than humanly possible. And I know Kevin Feige is pissed. Like, he wants to do an amazing street-level team-up movie with Spidey and Daredevil going against Kingpin, outlawing masked vigilantes in New York. Like, that sounds super interesting. And then maybe you can bring Scorpion back, since his post-credit scene in Homecoming was never, capitalized on. And it just makes sense to bring him back for this movie. And Kevin's probably like, why do you guys think you know how to tell a good story? Like, you guys just pumped out Madam Web, and that thing was terrible. Kevin wants to satisfy the Spider-Man fans with a true Spider-Man story, and Sony just wants a cash grab to make $1 billion because No Way Home did. But in my opinion, this is what Spider-Man 4 should be, exactly what I just said. Daredevil, Spidey team up against Kingpin, and then you can have like a live-action Devil's Reign movie maybe in the future. And not this movie for Spider-Man 4. Like, they essentially want to make it a live-action Spider-Verse film, but it just doesn't make sense for Spider-Man 4. Maybe 5 or 6, and we can build up towards that, but Spider-Man 4 does not need to be a crazy big multiverse movie again. So guys, let me know what you guys think about this situation. Are you on Sony's side or are you on Marvel Studios' side? Personally, I think I'm going with Kevin Feige. I think this movie needs to be street level and just build up the Spider-Man character again. And then we can have a big Spider-Verse movie for maybe Spider-Man 6. Just give Tom Holland his moment to shine, a street level movie in the streets of New York. We haven't had that yet, and that's what made like the Tobey movies and the Andrew movies so special. But let me know your thoughts down below.